Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. This one's going to be fairly experimental and may not even see the light of day depending. I've bought a new lens for my GoPro here that allows me to get much better close-up photography. So we'll be trying that for a video or two here. The disadvantage with that lens is you'll notice things kind of go off out of focus in the corners here, but the important part is what's going on in the center here. I'm going to have to learn how to keep things in the center of the view here. I had a choice between buying a telephoto lens and buying a macro lens. It was kind of a 50-50 chance as to what would work. I think this one might work. We'll have to see what happens. If not, I'll get the telephoto lens and we'll try that one. Anywho, so this kit is a Velleman kit. It's a low voltage light organ kit that I got for Christmas. Not entirely too sure how I'm going to utilize it. I've got a couple of thoughts as to further projects that I can do with it. But we're just going to go ahead and get started. We'll start by turning the soldering iron on here and getting my solder ready because I forgot to do that before the video. Now I've already pre-shaped my leads with my swiffy little lead shaper thingamabob. Got that done ahead of time, except for these monstrosities. I had to improvise with these because they wouldn't actually fit on the lead shaper, but we'll get to those later. For now, as usual, we're going to go ahead and start with the low-lying components. So we're going to begin with the resistors as usual. So we'll start with the 100k ohm resistors, which are going to be these guys right here. 100k ohm resistors are in positions R1, R6, and R8. You should be able to see on the video now the brown, black, yellow, which is 1 and a 0, and then a bunch of zeros. 5 zeros. 5 zeros? 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, 5 zeros. So we'll go ahead and throw those in to their appropriate positions in R1, R6, and R8. So we've got R1, R6, and R8. There's that. Alrighty, the next set of resistors, let's try to reduce the glare there. I'll just flip it over. Next resistors are going to be R2 through R5. They're going to be the 1k ohm resistors, and that's going to be brown, black, red. So that's these guys right over here. So we'll hold that up a little closer to the lens. Hopefully it shows with the brown, black, red. And those are going in R2. R2, R3, R4, and R5, which is over here. There we go. All right. Now, the next set of resistors we're going to be putting on is the 100 ohm resistor. That's going to be brown, black, brown. There we go, brown, black, brown. And he belongs in R7. So, find R7 here. Oh, these components are packed very, very densely on this board. There we go. I really like this component bender because it it bends the leads for a perfect fit, and they don't fall out once you get them nicely socketed. Alright, and the last resistors we're going to place are going to be the 390 ohm resistors, which are actually kind of a pretty color scheme. We've got orange for 3, white for 9, and brown for 10. And those are going to go in positions R9 and R10. So let's flip this guy over and not singe ourselves on the soldering iron. We'll just move that off to one side a little bit there. All right, so R9 is here, And just because I'm picky about how I line up my resistors. Resistors are not polarized, you can plug them in any which way, but I like to get the stripes nicely aligned. So that's going to be R9 and R10. So R10 is over here. This is going to take some practice, making sure I stay in view and nice and visible. Alright, so that's the resistors in place. We'll just flip this over and begin soldering. Another advantage of this new component bender I've got is that I don't really have to worry about aligning components once I've got them on the board. Normally I'll solder one side of the resistor and then give it a push from the other side and reflow it just to make sure that it's nice and flush, but that's not necessary anymore with the lead shaper. So we're just gonna go ahead and glob a bunch of solder onto these connections. Oh, I missed my chisel tip. Might have to order one for this iron. There we go. Let's just give this a quick spin around, make those easier to get to. Come on. Flow on there. There we go. And just that one. Oh, that one's not flowing onto the resistor. There we go. And very big traces on this particular board. Alright, so those all look good. All of the components look nice and flush. So we're going to reach over here carefully, and we're going to go ahead and crop those leads off, just like so. Oops, I missed one. So let's correct that deficiency real quick. And there we go. Give it a second for the solder to set. Alright, so that's the resistors down. Normally I'd move on to... Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and cut the video here. I know it's a little bit shorter than my normal videos, but I'm trying to keep them in the 10 to 15 minute range. So this one's, well, it's 8 minutes. Should I do some more? Yeah, we're gonna do some more. Never mind. Ignore what I just said. Alright, so next we're gonna start with some diodes. And the diodes we're going to be putting on are a 1N4148 signal diode, which I believe is this one. Those letters are not going to show up very well at all on the camera here, but just in case they do, you can see the 4148 on the glass tube there. And we're going to put this one in the position of D1. Where is D1? D1 is over here. We'll see that stripe on the board. We're going to line that up with the black stripe on the diode. I think I shaped this at the wrong pitch. Get in there. There we go. And lay that down. These signal diodes are pretty temperature sensitive, so we're going to want to solder them as quickly as possible. Or solder it if we've only got the one signal diode. Flow that. Flow that. There we go. And trim the leads. Alright, and the next one is a good old stock standard 1N4007 power diode, rectifier diode, and we're going to put that in the position of D2. Again, lining the stripes up with the board. Sliding it in, making sure it's nice and flush. There we go. And we'll solder it on. There we go. And clip that off, and clip that off. Alright. The next components I want to do, we'll do the Zener diode. That's this guy right here. The letters on it are nearly impossible to see off camera, so I'm not too sure if we'll be able to see, but it's a 79C15, which means it's a 15 volt Zener diode. I've talked about Zener diodes in other videos. In fact, I've got a video that's entirely dedicated to Zener diodes. Anyway, so ZD1, we're going to go ahead and slide that into position. I also bent the leads on this one at the wrong pitch, but that's okay. Still a nice tight fit. Just makes them cross like that when you push it through. Another fairly temperature sensitive components, we're going to want to solder it quickly. There we go. And we'll crop those leads off. Alright. So I'll go ahead and wrap up this part here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. Give me a like if you liked the video. Please comment on the video quality, what you think of the new setup. If this turns out to be unpopular, I'll go ahead and order that telephoto lens, and we'll try it with that. Anyway, I'll leave a link to subscribe here, a video that YouTube thinks you'll find interesting over here, and I guess the playlist for this kit right here. And we'll see you in the next video.